country. We ring in a new season of NFL football. Are you excited? Are you ready for some football? Well, you won't get any here. I'm sorry. Tonight in Kansas City, Taylor Swift took on the Baltimore Ravens. There was a lot of speculation about whether she would be at the game or not. Not only was there speculation, her fans have already done the math based on her tour dates. The Swifties believe Taylor will be able to make 14 regular season games this year. That's when you know you're really famous, when your fans start working out your schedule for you. There's a lot of football. We had the Thursday game tonight. We had a Friday game tomorrow. Then, of course, multiple games on Sunday, the game on Monday, Monday Night Football. And later in the season, we have Saturday games. I guess I should just say goodbye to my family now. I love you. I'll see you guys in March. We have one of our nation's most famous fantasy football players with us tonight, the second gentleman of the United States, the former McDonald's Employee of the Month, Vice President Harris's husband, Doug Emhoff, is here with us. It's a little bit confusing. We've had a lot of first ladies, but this is new territory. Doug is our nation's first second gentleman, and if Kamala wins, he would be our first gentleman. Do I have that right, Guillermo?
Yes, Jimmy. Yes.
Thank you very much, Guillermo. And I want you to know that you are my first second gentleman
thank you,
right
Jimmy.
now.
I love you too. Thank you, Jimmy.
Oh, you did that? You learned this over the summer,
Yeah,
huh?
I did. Something new, yeah.
Next week's the debate, which will be held here on ABC between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. ABC News released the agreed-upon rules for Tuesday's duel. Each candidate will be given a pen, a pad of paper, a bottle of water, and a knife. And that's it. They have nothing else. They will not be allowed to consult with their teams. There will be no audience, though afterwards Trump will claim there were 30,000 fans screaming his name. You know, back in June, Joe Biden's team, for their debate, wanted the mics to be muted when it was the other person's turn to speak, and Trump's team agreed to that. But Kamala's team wanted the mics to be open for this one, and Trump's team was like, oh, no, you don't. Our guy, we are keeping him muted for as long as humanly possible. So they'll be muted. How great would it be if 30 minutes into this debate, Joe Biden runs out, hits Trump with a folding chair? You forgot me, you rapscallion. One of the strangest things about this debate is this will be the first time Trump and Kamala Harris have ever met in person. For real. They once had a Zoom happy hour over the pandemic, but that was it. And, of course, Trump's already playing the victim. During his town hall with Sean Hannity last night, he said ABC is the worst network. And I just want to say, somebody who's worked at ABC for more than 2 decades, thank you. I feel like I played a part in making us the worst network. I only wish they'd let me moderate this debate, but Trump, of course, Trump, not only is he running for president, he's running from the law right now. In Washington today, the return of his election interference case. Trump's lawyers entered a plea of not guilty, but even if I am guilty, it's not a crime because I do whatever I want. The case was supposed to go to trial back in March, but the legal system, our legal system works in mysterious ways when the defendant personally picked 3 of the judges on the Supreme Court. So it was delayed. Now the judge has to decide if the prosecution will call witnesses like Mike Pence, the former vice president, which would be Mr. Pence, show us on the doll where the president wanted to hang you. Tonight was part 2 of Trump's Fox News clown hall. Sean Hannity, he gave Trump another vigorous Hannity job as only he can. Last night, Macaroni and Cheese delighted the packed house with his thoughts on a variety of subjects, including this delightfully fictional gem about his KGBFF.
I was the toughest on Russia. Putin would even say, if you're not the toughest guy, you're killing us. I'd hate to see you if you were really tough.
That is what I do with children. Like when somebody introduces me to their kid, I'll put my hand out for them to give me 5, and then I go, oh, ow, you're strong. Do it easier this time. And I put my hand out again. I go, oh, my gosh, you're too strong. And we do that 10 more times in a row. That's what Putin does to Trump. And it works. The Russians are doing their best to help Trump win the election. Yesterday, the Department of Justice announced indictments and sanctions against Russians who paid right-wing podcasters to spread misinformation in an effort to sway American voters. The Russians called it the Good Old USA Project. That was really their name. The White House called it meddling, which seems it seems too soft. Meddling makes it sound like Scooby-Doo was involved. and he wasn't. But Trump needs help, and he will take that help from any place he can get it. Of all the insults he's been hit with, the little hands, the baby carrot in his pants, the one that's really making him nuts is Tim Walz calling him and J.D. Vance weird. He hates this so much that he can't stop bringing it up. And now, when it comes to Tim Walz, his defense is, I'm not weird, you're weird.
There's something weird with that guy. He's a weird guy. JD is not weird. He's a solid rock. I happen to be a very solid rock. We're not weird. We're other things, perhaps, but we're not weird. But he is a weird guy. He walks on the stage. There's something wrong with that guy. And he called me weird. And then the fake news media picks it up. That was the word of the day. Weird, weird, weird. They're all going, but we're not weird guys. We're very solid people.
Right, right. I'm just a regular guy who lives in a gold house and has an orange face. A solid... I mean, would a weird guy say something like this?
For all of those that want to save TikTok in America, vote for Trump. The other side's closing it up. But I'm now a big star on TikTok. We even have TikTok Jack, and we're setting records. We're not doing anything with TikTok, but the other side's going to close it up. So if you like TikTok, go out and vote for Trump.
It's like he's running for the student council. And then we have his buddy J.D. Vance, who, say what you will about the man's politics, J.D. Vance is crushing it when it comes to policy.
How will we lower the cost of daycare? It's such an important question, Charlie, and I think one of the things that we can do is make it easier for family models to choose, or for families to choose whatever model they want, right? So one of the ways that you might be able to relieve a little bit of pressure on people who are paying so much for daycare is make it so that you know, maybe like grandma or grandpa wants to help out a little bit more, or maybe there's an aunt or uncle that wants to help out a little bit more.
Right. Right, Jay. Make those old codgers get off their bingo playing asses and earn that Social Security. That's quite a suggestion. But JD, what if my grandmother is dead? Bring the kids to the cemetery. Plenty of weeds to pull. Great pick, Donny Dum-Dum. You did it again. Another thing Trump was yelling about at the town hall is this story about Tim Walz's family endorsing him, endorsing Trump. Maybe you've seen this photo of these people demonstrating their abuse of the innocent apostrophe. But turns out this one's too much even for Fox News to swallow.
Democrat vice presidential nominee Tim Walz in the spotlight now as his family appears to be endorsing Trump. This photo of his family members, extended family, they're wearing shirts that read, Nebraska Walzes for Trump. It's gone viral. Fox News spoke with them, and they said they consider themselves distant relatives of Walz as they've never met or spoken to him. So are they his family or not?
Well, of course they're his family. That's Tim's 9th cousin, 10th removed. Meanwhile, this is what Tim Walz has been up to, mingling with supporters at the New Hampshire State Fair.
The creamiest milk of all comes from the Jersey breed. It's the richest, and farmers get paid more for that extra butter fat in the milk. And let me tell you, that is creamy and tasty.
Oh, hold on a minute. I'm being told that is not Tim Walz. But it easily could have been. Easily. Oh, do you know this guy? You know the half-man, half-amphibian Ted Cruz? Ted Cruz was spotted at the Notre Dame Texas A&M football game over the weekend. And one thing you can count on for sure is wherever Ted goes, he leaves the ladies swooning. I think she was goofing around, but I don't know, he may have been wearing his wife's sport jacket, right? Sweaty Teddy's in a tight race in Texas. Colin Allred, who's a Democrat, is breathing down his neck, but Ted has an ace in the hole. He has an endorsement from America's most celebrated pillow salesman, Mike Lindell.
This cow ain't got no milk, and I've been tugging on its pecker for 20 minutes. Oh, hi there. It's me, Mike Lindell. I make pillows and defamatory statements about democracy. Right now, this country needs patriots, and there ain't nobody more patriotic than Ted Cruz. Ted doesn't just love America, he lusts after it. That's how come on 9/11 Ted solemnly cranked his pea shooter to porn on the Twitter for freedom. Now you might say, Mike, do you have mustard on your shirt? And also, didn't Ted Cruz try to ban sex toys in Texas? Yes to both. Because Ted Cruz knows if you let your wife have a vibrator, the next thing she'll want is 2 dildos and a St. Paul strap-along and a tape dinner and a Twin City tickler. And then she'll want her coworker Dennis to move in. And now you're married to a lady and a fella, and you gotta put another toilet in the house. That's how democracy works. A lot of folks say Ted Cruz should be disqualified on account of him not being a human man. Just because he don't have no spine, or because his skin flaps is soggy, or the fact that he lays eggs in his own salty mouth, or how much his mucus sac, his mucus sac is too swollen because his closest genetic relative is a bacteria that putrefies in septic tanks, or because he squirts ink when you corner him, and his festered genitals are red and covered in scaly pimples. But us patriots overlook all that because he's fighting for our right to make it illegal for women to see a doctor. Ooh, a piranha! This is how my dealer Chewy used to smuggle in my Mexican Dexatrim. Here. So this November, we're gonna stand by Ted Cruz the way he stood by and let Donald Trump call his wife a dog face. Oh.
I'm Ted Cruz, and I approve this message.
Turn it, not again! Back!
Well, thank you, Mike, and thank you for your patriotism.
Da-da-da.